If you are waiting to feel good enough to do something that will propel your life, you will die waiting. Prove to yourself you're worthy right now. Get down and suffer. Get down and do some push-ups. Go do a cold plunge. Go on a 24-hour fast. Do something hard. You're worthy right now. You don't need to wait. And if you mess up, get over it. Hey everyone, welcome to the Rising Father podcast. I'm Chris Rodak. I'm going to talk to you about two different self-sabotaging mind worms or thoughts that guys have that keep them from achieving and keep them stuck, keep them miserable. These are things that I've heard a lot recently. These are things that I've thought before, but recently they've been coming up a lot with guys that I've talked to. These are things that keep them stuck in a frustrated, miserable life. These mind worms, there's this perspective. And if you don't allow people to shake you out of this perspective, you just stay stuck there. The first one is thinking you have to earn a good life. Like thinking you don't deserve a good life. And don't take that for exactly how it sounds. Of course you need to earn good things in your life. I'm talking about the guy who says, I don't deserve to feel good until I've earned it, or some semblance of that. This is a complicated topic, and this is diving deep into the psyche of people. But thinking like this will keep you miserable until you achieve a certain result. So this is partially a perfectionist mindset. This is a mindset people have that tell themselves, until I get this certain thing, until I've proved to myself that I deserve something based on these ambiguous guidelines I'm setting up that I don't even really know, and really it's probably just a feeling, until I reach that result, I will not allow myself to be happy. And when you think like that, you just are telling yourself you're going to be miserable forever. So you're telling yourself, I must suffer and prove to myself that I deserve a better life. And until I feel a certain way and I've proved to myself that I've suffered enough, then I won't be happy until that happens. Some semblance of that. And I've talked to many guys over the past week who are stuck being miserable because they tell themselves that. Like, oh, well, I'm going to make myself earn this good thing that I know would change my life and that I know would make me feel good right now. And I'm not talking like a Snickers bar. I'm talking about like, joining a gym or something else. It's like, no, they'll say something like, I need to prove it to myself first before I do that. It's like, why? Why must you prove it to yourself? Where has this thinking gotten you the past decade? Has this been good for you? No. Maybe this thinking is why you are stuck. Maybe being obsessed with proving things to yourself and saying, I can't be happy until is why you are not happy right now, because you keep on moving the goalposts. And along the way, you keep on sabotaging yourself and you keep on making mistakes and failing. Then when you make mistakes and fail, you feel bad about yourself, and then that causes you to quit, and because you didn't hit the result you said you had to hit for you to be happy, you're even more miserable, so then you just are stuck in this spiral of toxicity and being miserable. It's a form of perfectionism. It's a twisted psyche. It's a twisted mindset that will keep you miserable and keep you from achieving. These kinds of guys always lurk in the shadows. They don't go all in because they've set up this cage in their mind. They set up these rules to this game of self-progress to where they're only allowed to make self-progress if they abide by these certain rules. And when they don't do that, because they set their standards impossibly high, standards that they've never met their entire life, they say, oh, well, I've seen this. It's also comparison. They say, well, I saw this guy on Instagram do this, like wake up at 3 a.m. And because I woke up at 3:30 a.m., I didn't deserve the day. And they play these mind games with themselves that make no sense. And then, instead of saying, oh, well, I'm just going to do the next best thing, they end up sabotaging themselves again and saying, well, F it, the day's lost. Now I'll do whatever I want and try again tomorrow. Another self-sabotaging mind worm. You do not have to earn, you shouldn't have to earn a good life. Now, when I even say that out loud, it doesn't sound right, so I'm probably not communicating that correctly. You do have to earn it, meaning like you have to work for what you want. What I'm trying to say is you can be happy now. I think the better way to say it is, do not think you are not worthy of a better life. You are worthy of it right now. I think that's the better way to say it. Because earn, yes, you do have to earn it. But you're allowed to be happy on your way to earning the life you want. You can be happy on your way to earning an amazing life. Don't set up all these boundaries and guidelines in your head as to, I must hit this 100-point plan on the way to me being happy, and if I don't, I can't be happy. If I, whatever it is for you, whatever perfectionist thing you think you have to do. No, you can choose to be happy right now by the person you are, by your habits, by your routines, by your systems, by you serving and giving instead of selflessly taking all the time. You can be happy now. And the more happy you are, the more, this is going to be horrible grammar, the more better things you'll want to do for yourself. The better things you'll want to do for yourself. Let me try that again. The happier you are, the more you will want to take care of yourself. I felt like throwing up the level saying it as I just did. Oh my goodness. If you are happy, you will be more likely to say, I deserve this. I deserve to go to the gym. I deserve to eat healthy. You won't be so tempted. When do we eat like crap, drink like crap, give up on our standard? It's whenever we have the F it attitude. It's whenever we say, screw it, the day's lost. I already screwed up. I'm an a-hole. I don't deserve to do blank. And then you shoot out all 4 of your tires instead of pulling over and fixing the one. This all stems from not thinking right now that you are worthy of the thing that you want. I have to prove to myself that I'm worthy of this. Well, then guess what? You are never going to feel worthy of it. If you don't think you're worthy of something right now, that is why you don't have the thing that you think you're not worthy to get. If you do not think you're worthy of a good life right now, you're never going to feel that way. Because in your head, your worthiness is tied to achievement, not tied to the person you are. Instead of just you being alive and being a good person and loving and respecting yourself. And by feeling that you're not worthy, you are perpetuating this never-ending cycle of self-sabotage, of saying, well, because I'm not worthy, I'm going to punish myself. And I'm going to punish myself until I achieve this thing, and because I didn't achieve it, that shows me that I'm not worthy, and then I'm going to punish myself some more. And you're like, why am I stuck in this cycle? It's because of your perspective. It's because how you're seeing the world. We call it perspective shift in my program. This is what we work on. This is why you can have a breakthrough without, the latest scientific study on carbs and protein. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the way you're seeing the world, your inner trauma, your perspective, your psyche, your mindset. It's you not thinking you're worthy for the past 30 years. Ditch that mindset. If you are waiting to feel good enough to do something that will propel your life, you will die waiting. Prove to yourself you're worthy right now. Get down and suffer. Get down and do some push-ups. Go do a cold plunge. Go on a 24-hour fast. Do something hard. You're worthy right now. You don't need to wait. And if you mess up, get over it. The guys who have had insane transformations in my group, like next level, single-digit body fat, rescued their marriage. Like a guy just posted today. He's been with us 6 months. He's coming on the retreat in April. He said, my marriage was on the brink of divorce. I suffered trauma as a kid. My dad, who I was super close to, died. Like this program and the way we train our brains is why I've finally been able to break through after decades. The reason he's able to do that is because of his perspective shifting. He's always had muscle. He's always known how to eat healthy and work out. And in his marriage, he's always known what to do. But it's the way you see the world that will let you actually do it or not. Like self-sabotage will always keep you stuck. Thinking you're not worthy will always keep you stuck. Thinking you have to earn a good life. There I go, saying that again. But you know what I mean. So that is one of these mind worms. And I don't want to say it a million times, but I'll say it a bunch of times. You're worthy right now. You're worthy right now of a good life. You're worthy right now of discipline. You're worthy right now of a happy marriage, of being present with your kids, of a promotion, of having wealth, of having abundance. Everything you want, you're worthy of right now. You don't have to prove to yourself that you deserve it. You deserve it. Now get to work. And guess what? You get to work, you feel good, then you're going to want to work harder for that. You're going to say, I do deserve it. I feel good. I'm awesome. I'm a savage. Look at me go. And you're going to do more things. And the snowball is going to get bigger and heavier, and it's going to roll faster. You have more momentum. And then months will pass, and you'll look back, and you'll say, oh my goodness, look at my life. Look at the man I am. Stop waiting. You're waiting to feel like you deserve something is why you're not getting it right now. Ditch it. I think I kind of went away from what I was saying earlier. Got distracted with the story I was telling. But the guys in my program who make really good progress, this is the point I was going to make. The guys in my program who make unbelievable transformations is what I was saying. They pivot and rise. And what that means is they're not perfect the whole time. They're not robots. They're not, it's not like there's some AI robot who just nails everything from day one. You look at my profile, you see these single-digit body fat shredded guys who they're like, hey, my marriage went from this to this. My presence with my kids went from this to this. My business took off. And they got shredded. You're like, is this even real? How is that possible? Those guys did not have a perfect ride. I had many messages from them being like, Chris, man, today everything went off the rails. My wife screamed at me, I don't think this is going to work, blah, blah. Or I binged this weekend, or I went back to drinking, or, I smoked again. I said, like, their road has not been seamless. Every road to success has been rocky. Every single one of their transformations has had bumps. It's had resistance. And the guy who's perennially stuck has this fantasy in his head that unless his road is perfect and paved, then he can't move forward. It's like, well, when I hit the bump, that means I did something wrong. And then he gets down on himself, and then he punishes himself, and he says, I don't deserve it. And someone says, no, look, let me help you. He's like, I don't deserve the help. I need to earn it on my own. And then the cycle starts again, and years pass, and then he's miserable. He has no presence. And he's like, why am I stuck in my head? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I so miserable all the time? And then people are like, let me help you. He's like, I don't deserve the help. I don't deserve it. I need to earn this on my own. And then he keeps on making mistakes, keeps failing, and then he punishes himself more, so he rejects even more help. And then he's 50, then he's 60, then he's 70, and then his life is over. Or you could just be the guy who's humble, who doesn't have the massive ego, who can say, yes, help me rise. Lift me up right now. It's extending your hand and saying, show me the way. That's what it is for many guys with this problem. They don't look like they should have an ego, but their ego is why they look like they do. I know guys who are, crushing it in many aspects of life, and their ego is much smaller than somebody who looks like they're not crushing it in every area of life. And many times, the reasons are because of the ego and the way it is. The guy who's 100 pounds overweight and his marriage is suffering and his relationships with his kids is suffering, many times he has a much bigger ego than a guy who's shredded, crushing at a business and his family. Now, let me tell you why. You might be thinking, no way. But I've seen it many times. This isn't 100% of the time. I'm saying this can be something. This can be something. And if you're listening to this, I want you to look deep within you and say, could this be me? Because the guy who's not crushing it at everything, one of the reasons he is there is because he keeps on thinking he shouldn't be there. And because of that ego where he says, I'm better than this, I shouldn't be there, he never takes the steps to get out of there because he thinks I shouldn't have to do that, or he punishes himself so much because he isn't doing the thing he has to do. It's all in the head. It's all mental. Whereas I've seen guys start in that position, they're able to break down their ego, crack open, shift their perspective, and they can say, I'm open, fill me up, teach me, show me a path. And they extend their hand and they let people lift them up, and then their life changes. They say, it's okay, I'm going to fail, I'm going to make mistakes along the way, I'm not perfect, every day I'm going to get up and just keep on going. Those are the guys whose lives change. That's what it takes. It takes breaking through in that way. Okay, so we're already at 17 minutes, and I have another one to do, so I'm going to do another one. The other one is, I wrote down, it's kind of the same thing. It's all perfectionism. It's stop seeking perfection, be okay scratching your way. Be the little mouse who's just scratching the wall every day, just trying to escape, just scratch, and eventually they get out. Don't think all or nothing. I have to do it all or nothing's happening. Be okay scratching your way. Be okay making mistakes, failing, being messy. Be okay scratching your way to success. I've had many months in my business that it's been like that. I've had months that I've just crushed it, blew it out of the park, and I'm like, oh my God, is this my life? And then I've had other months where I'm like, oh my God, is this my life? What's happening? But you just keep on moving. You make mistakes, you try things, and you keep on going. You say, I wonder if this would work. Yes. Okay, good. No. Okay. Oops, I made a failure. Okay, I'm going to get over it. And you just keep on scratching your way. You'll do that in every area of your life. If things have to be seamless, perfect, no resistance, no obstacles, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You're saying, I can only exist in this perfectly painted picture that I can see ahead of time. And if things do not look like this in advance, I'm not going to attempt it. Be okay scratching your way to success. It's okay. Scratch your way there. Things don't have to be perfect. Let's say you join the Men of Fire program. I'm like, okay, man, here's 10 things to do today. And you do 4 of them your first week. Great. That's 400% better than you did last week. That is the mindset you should have. You shouldn't have the mindset of, well, I did 4 out of 10. That's a 40%. I'm a failure. No, scratch your way. If you're trying to go sober and you do a week sober and then you mess up. Then you do 2 weeks sober, then you mess up. Then a day sober, then you mess up. And then you're not a failure the entire time. This isn't like 75 hard where you make 74 out of 75 days and you call yourself a failure. I mean, that's a mentality. 75 hard is amazing. It's changed many people's life. But some people take that mindset and twist it and miss the meaning. Where they're like, I am not good because I did 75. It could have been a 10-day challenge. 75 just harder. Okay? This life is not like that. Amazing program does amazing things for many people, but some people take the message and twist it where they say, I only didn't drink for 74 days. I only worked out for 74 days. I only posted. Like, no, you did all of that. What'd you do before you started? Nothing. It's a huge improvement. So some people have that mindset, but say they're trying to quit alcohol. It's like, okay, over the last 100 days, they'll say, I screwed up 3 times. What does that mean? It means I drank 3 times. Okay, so you didn't screw up 3 times. You were successful 97 times. That's what you're telling me. This is what I mean when I say perspective shift. It's the way you see the world. It's either glass half empty or it's glass half full. It's the thing that happened to me is what is going to propel me forward, or this is the reason why I'm a failure and I'm stuck. The exact same thing can happen to 2 different people, but you perceive it in a different way. You must shift your perspective because that is your path to freedom. I'm telling you, believe me. I don't have a doctorate in this, but this is what has worked for me. It works for the guys in my program, and I have tangible evidence that this is working for people. Your salvation isn't in a PDF of workout programs. It's how you're seeing the world. Because you think your entire existence is happening here within you. How you see the world impacts 100% of every single aspect of your life. 100% of it. Every word you speak, every thought you have, every interaction, every result you get happens through the lens of your perspective. It happens through that lens. Do you think if Tony Robbins went through your day versus you going through your day, at the end of the day, would you have 2 different results? Do you think if, some random guy from a prison or Jocko Willink went through the same day, do you think they would have 2 different results? Is it because Jocko Willink is stronger? Maybe if the only thing they were doing was pushing boulders. No, it's because they have a different perspective. One is probably positive, likes to challenge himself, is optimistic, sees opportunity. And the other one might think the world's stacked against him, everyone's out to get him, there's no opportunity. Because of that, every single thought, word, action, result they have in life is colored by the way they see the world, by their perspective. So a perspective I want you to try is scratching away at success instead of needing everything to be perfect, and then coming down on yourself and crushing yourself with self-judgment when you let yourself down. Where did this come from? Why is Chris talking to us about this? Because I used to do that. And then it's been reinforced by the guys I work with who are called to my message and called to what we do in Rising Father, and then me helping them work through the exact same things I had to help myself work through. And now I'm helping my children work through them, Nathan and Lauren. As they're getting older, they're facing some of these exact same issues that I can help them with in advance, so they don't have to suffer with for decades like I did. When I first wanted to start a business, it was an ad agency. As I said many times, if you listen to the podcast, you guys basically know me. And I would crush myself with self-judgment. That's why I quit. And then I wouldn't try things because I was so afraid of how I would make myself feel. I would say, I don't want to reach out to this person because if they say no, it's probably because I didn't practice my sales script enough, and it's because I didn't put in the effort that I need to. And then if they say no, I know I'm just going to destroy myself. Think, just listening to that, how much of that is just mental BS and mind worms and in a toxic perspective? Instead of saying, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Close them, great. Don't close them. All right, next one up. Learn it, write down some notes, jot down what you learned, pivot, and rise. 2 completely different perspectives. The pivot and rise perspective with no emotions attached, 12 months of a stick in the sales call game. So let's imagine you're me back whenever I started this real estate agent ad agency, which is probably, 6-7 years ago. And I was a music teacher at a public school, used to talking to children about saxophones and tubas and drums. And then before you know it, I was on the phone call with realtors who made 100 times more money than me across the country. And I was promising them that I was going to set up ad campaigns for them, and I had to sell them on a 30-minute phone call after never talking to them and ask for like $10,000 at the end of it, which was like 3 months of my teacher salary at that time. So imagine you're me, and that's what you have to do. And I built that up. I got good at it over years, but I had to fail at it so many times. So imagine you're that person, you're me back in the day. After 12 months of that, if my attitude was, this is going to be crazy, it's going to be hilarious, I'm going to fail a bunch, but I'll win some, I'll lose some, and that's just what it is. Like, if I had the attitude of, hey, failure's going to be part of this, I must fail so I can get better. Imagine that guy's results at the end of 12 months versus me with the attitude of, oh my God, I'm terrified to do this call. What if they say no? If they say no, it's probably because I didn't prepare enough. What if they think I'm an idiot? What if they think I'm not qualified? That scared, doubtful, toxic inner voice perspective. That guy, 12 months with that attitude, what is his income going to be, and what's the income going to be of the other guy who shifted his perspective and said pivot and rise instead of I'm a failure? Massive real-life difference just based on how they see the world. The guy who says pivot and rise, he's okay just scratching away at life. He's okay at like a little bit of progress, oh, I messed up. Oops, failure. Fell down a little bit. Get back up, brush it off, keep on going. Messed up, oh well, keep on going, keep on scratching. Keep on scratching, keep on scratching. You're either scratching away at a better life or you're admitting defeat. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to admit defeat? No. Then scratch away until you get it. So maybe this year you're going to do 20% better. The next year, 30% better. That's your life. It won't be that way. You're going to get exponentially better as long as you keep scratching away. But you have to be okay scratching away, going brick by brick. I wrote a blog today on risingfather.com about my three of my favorite quotes. One of them was by James Clear. So I was doing some James Clear Atomic Habit research. He talks about this in depth. You know, you set a massive goal for your life, and then what you immediately do is you create a habit to support that goal, an easily achievable habit. Make it attractive, make it convenient, make it something that's repeatable you can do every single day. But do that every single day towards your goal. Like, let's go back to the ad agency realtor thing. You need to reach out to a lot of people. You want clients. You're in a sales business where you need to get clients and you're responsible for it. Okay. My goal is $1 million this year in revenue. Let's say that's your goal. That's a huge goal. Great. So what do I have to do? Okay, let's break that down. And as Jim Rohn says, break your big goals down into small goals, little achievable goals. That means every day I'm going to DM 10 people on Instagram. Every day I'm going to DM 10 people on LinkedIn. I'm going to make a $20 a day ad on Facebook. I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to start posting organically. I'm going to start reaching out to people. I'm going to start a blog. You break those things down into small achievable goals, small achievable habits. Like, my habit is every day when I wake up, I work out, I have my routine, and then I see my family off to school, and then I'm going to do outreach for 30 minutes or an hour. This is going to be my habit. My goal is $1 million. My habit is I reach out to these people every day. And if I'm consistent at the habit and fall in love with the habit, then the goal will happen. Might take longer than I want, but that's not up to me. I can't control that. I can control the habit I do today. So stop coming down on yourself so hard. You are worthy of the best life possible. You are worthy to be disciplined. You're worthy of an amazing marriage. You're worthy of abundance. You're worthy of presence with your children. And you really want to be the absolute best you before it's too late. Do you really want to wait another decade, another day, another week, another year? What could possibly be worth you waiting another day? Nothing. Nothing is worth it. So get to work.